What's your relationship to fear? When you encounter something scary in your life, do you back away slowly or do you run toward it as fast as you can? Because the difference between those two orientations could be the difference between a life of struggle and a life of your wildest dreams. What's up, you amazing human? My name is Ben Hart. In today's video, we are talking about the importance of running toward your fear to create an amazing life. If you dig this video and want to see more like it in the future, hit the subscribe button below. If there's people out there you think would benefit from hearing about this relationship to fear and helping them run toward it more, hit the like button, leave a comment, it'll help them find this video. All right, so we're talking about fear. Now, to begin, we're talking about fear in the context of things that scare us in our life, that are about expansion, that are about growth, that are about deepening, that are about becoming who we're here to be, about having more of what we want to have. Certainly there's things to be scared of in life that make complete sense to be scared of, and walking away from those things might make perfect sense. You know, if you are in Africa and you encounter a lion, walking away slowly or whatever the right practice is to do when you encounter a lion makes total sense, not necessarily running right toward it, or whatever. If you're scared of heights, you don't have to necessarily go toward every single thing. Like, for sure there are physical safety, emotional safety things that make a lot of sense. But for the most part, we often let our fear run our life. And actually what we're scared of and what we feel fear of, if we moved in the direction of it, would it create so much more amazingness for us. So, as an example of this, imagine you suddenly have an opportunity in your career that is very intimidating and very scary. Like, let's say, I don't know, you want to be a writer and all of a sudden you're given the opportunity to write an article in a huge magazine. Well, that could be very, very scary. And for many people, they might feel like, oh, I'm not ready, I haven't practiced enough, I don't have my chops yet, like I don't feel like I have a good idea. Like, I'm going to back away from that opportunity and wait until I feel confident, feel ready, and it will come, again. Rather than just like, hell yeah, I'm going toward that. I am terrified. Maybe I'm going to do the wrong thing. Maybe I'm going to write something poorly. Maybe I'm not ready. But like, this is an opportunity coming my way. This is what I want, and I'm going to move toward it. And there are so many things like that in life, from the most like sublime and like huge opportunities that are very obviously opportunities to just small encounters day to day. Places where there's opportunity for like deeper intimacy with someone you care about, whether it's your partner or someone you're interested in dating. Like, there's so many opportunities where it can get scary, and so many of us walk back away from that fear because we're scared of what it might mean and what we might do and how we might be seen. But so often, if you go toward it, more becomes possible. More becomes possible for what you can experience with that person in that example. More becomes possible for what you realize you're capable of. More becomes possible for your opportunities that open up. So an example of this in my own life was years and years ago, I was invited to speak in Japan. I was invited to go and give a talk to like 400 or 500 people in an auditorium. And I was also invited to this big presentation, to give this big outdoor auditorium where there was like 10,000 people, and I was going to, share a few words. And, up until that point, I'd only given talks to like 50 people, like maybe 100 for a short amount of time, but it wasn't something where I'd given like a 20-minute talk that was going to be translated into Japanese into this total auditorium of people, and it was super intimidating. And it was exactly what I wanted. What I wanted was my life to be about communicating ideas, sharing thoughts, helping more people live extraordinary lives. And so it felt like the perfect next thing for me to move in that direction. But very early on in life, I made a decision to relate to my fear as if it's an opportunity, a place for me to expand. And so when that opportunity came my way, I was a hell yes. For sure, I felt fear and anxiety and put a lot of time into managing that and making sure I felt confident and comfortable. But it felt like a place where I could either slink away from my dreams or I could run full speed toward them. And I ran full speed toward them. And that's, so much of the thing is that often what we want in life, where our biggest dreams lie, are the things that we're most scared of. We're most scared of, like, the things that we most want for who we can become and what we can create in our lives is like the most tender, vulnerable parts of us, and the most beautiful and powerful and, ambitious as well. But it can be super confronting when things that come up around what we really want, and to feel the fear that comes up in response to that. And what I'm offering in this video is, your choice around whether to back away from those spots, to back away from your fear, or to move toward it is the difference between creating the life you really, really want and creating a life that is much more constricted, closed, clapped, feeling less possibility. Because what happens when we move toward our fear is that our experience of what life is capable, what we're capable of and what life can bring us expands so much. Our comfort zone expands so much. I remember like the first time ever performing in like a talent show in middle school or something, and just the way that all of a sudden doing that and stepping in front of this whole school and performing something, the way my whole sense of comfort in performance and being seen by people completely shifted. And if I had backed away from that, of like, oh, that's too scary, all of a sudden my beliefs around what it was to be performing, what it was to be seen by people would have solidified, would have calcified. Now my comfort zone would have gotten smaller. It's like, okay, that's not safe. This world that I know currently is safe. Instead, choosing to move toward that fear, choosing to blast through it and go toward what I wanted, all of a sudden my comfort zone expanded even more, which led to being on stage in front of 500 people in Japan and, talking to 10,000 people on a stage and, like doing tons of things through the Shift Network where I used to talk to tens of thousands of people online and doing videos like this. It's like all of a sudden my comfort zone is so much wider for how much I can express, what I can share with the world, how I can be seen, all of it. But that comes through us moving toward our fear. Really see it as like, every time you move through your fear or choose not to, it's either making your world smaller or making your world bigger. And it really becomes as simple as that. And what I want to offer is, when you think about the fear, so often it occurs as almost like a brick wall. It occurs as like, that is really scary. I don't know if I can handle that. Like our nervous system, we might have like trauma responses coming online, or just, such fear of being rejected or being failing or whatever could happen. We have the worst case scenarios running through our mind. And so it feels like this like impenetrable wall that like, if I move in that direction, I'm just going to hit the wall and I'm going to like, fail. I'm going to die. I'm going to be ridiculed, whatever the case may be, whatever the fears are. But what so often happens is that when we actually step in the direction of that wall, it turns to dust. It turns to mist. It's not actually that strong. It's not actually, the fears that we have are so much more intense, so much more confronting than actual reality is. What we often find, sure, like you'll move toward things you want to do and things you want to experience and things you're fearful of and have experiences of failure. Like, yes, failure is possible and people making fun of us is possible and all of that. But even in those moments, what we realize is we're okay. Like, it's not as if we hit that wall and we just die. We move toward it. Maybe stuff happens that's amazing. Maybe stuff happens that's challenging. But either way, we move into another level of life. We step through that wall. It disintegrates. It moves into mist. And we realize, oh, wow, life just got more expansive. My comfort zone just expanded. What I'm capable of and what I can see I'm like willing to step into in my life is so much farther beyond what I was a second ago. And so again and again, our life can become wider and wider, more expansive, and your sense of self can become that as well. And it's just about, again and again, choosing to relate to our fear as a place to grow, choosing to relate to our fear as a signpost toward where we are currently not free. And in moving toward it, we get to become more free and we get to have more of what we want. So it's very simple, but my invitation is to make the choice to relate to your fear as something that you move toward. Make it be your ally. Your fear is your ally pointing you toward where you can become more free and how you can have more of what you want. And so teaching our nervous system, teaching our mind to relate to fear is something that we move toward because it gives us what we want is such a huge life hack. And notice that's like, it's okay to be scared. It's okay to want to back up. It's okay to want to retreat. And we learn to hold ourselves in those moments. We learn to hold our fear, let ourselves know, the parts of us that are scared know that it's okay. We got ourselves. Even if we get out there and we do fail, if we are ridiculed, we still got ourselves. And that is so key to this, holding ourselves, holding our fear, not letting it be in the driver's seat, letting it just be in the car. We got you, we're here with you, and we're going in that direction because that direction toward that fear is exactly what we want. I'll link a video down below that can talk about that whole idea of holding our fear in a good way and putting it in the back seat. And I had a whole video around that can help you with your relationship to fear as you think about this. But the most important thing as you hold your fear is to move in the direction of it. Move in the direction of the life you want. Move in the direction of your fears. Move toward the things that scare you because they are truly what your heart wants, what you want for your life, what you want to become, what you want to experience, what you want to do. All right, my friend, I hope your relationship to fear can be more of one running toward it, experiencing all the things you want in life, having more of your comfort zone, expanding and expanding and expanding again, realizing that you are so capable, you are so held, you are so holding of yourself, and you are able to create a life that you truly want. If you dug this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. Again, if there's people out there you think might benefit from thinking about their fear in this way, hit the like button, leave a comment, it'll help them find it. Again, I'm Ben Hart. Much love.